In my last video, I talked about how the average gamer, like me, does not want to learn a million new mechanics whenever we pick up a new game. We want something familiar, just modernized. And I think this game is the best example of how to do it right. At first glance, TMNT's Splintered Fate looks like a classic arcade 90s beat 'em up. But under the surface, it's much more than that. As a kid, I grew up watching the 2003 animated series of TMNT every Saturday morning on Fox. I also played the TMNT beat 'em up games on GameCube. So when I say this game feels like a modern evolution of classic TMNT games, I'm not saying that lightly. I've played these games for over 20 years, and this one genuinely surprised me. The story is simple. Splinter gets kidnapped, and you fight through waves of enemies to save him. No storytelling, no complicated lore, no over-explaining. That's it. It feels like the old arcade and SNES TMNT era. The combat is fast, the enemies swarm you, you dodge, you build meter, and you unleash your special attack. That's classic beat 'em up DNA. But then, the modern systems start to kick in. This isn't just a beat 'em up, it's layered with RPG mechanics. During runs, you're choosing upgrades, stacking abilities, and building synergies. You're not just button mashing, you're crafting a build. And then there's the meta progression. First, you have dragon upgrades, which are permanent stat boosts like increased attack damage, increased max life, and most importantly, splinter revives, which are basically extra lives per run. Then you have dreamer upgrades, which are more focused on scaling rewards, such as increasing the loot you earn in every run or increasing the chance pizza drops. You earn both by collecting dragon and dreamer coins each run. That's straight up modern level design. It gives you long-term progression and replayability without destroying that arcade feel. When my friends and I beat the game for the first time, we thought we were done. Nope. Turns out you have to clear the game multiple times. Apparently 8 times in fact, in order to get the true ending. And I'll be honest, when I first heard that, it felt like a chore. Why should I have to beat the same game 8 times in order to get the true ending? But then I realized something. I had only played as Michelangelo. Each turtle has their own inspiration, which gives permanent bonuses. For example, Michelangelo has increased attack size and increased attack damage. Raphael has increased critical hit chance and increased critical hit damage. That changes how you approach combat. Different pacing, different aggression, different builds. And once I switched characters, I started to see what the game is doing. The replayability isn't just repeating content, it's experimenting with different playstyles. Old beat 'em ups were about raw skill and repetition. Modern games expect progression. This game blends both. You still need mechanical skill, but now, builds matter, synergies matter, the character you select matters, and the difficulty scales up each run. The RPG mechanics give you ownership of your playstyle. That's the twist. It doesn't abandon the classic formula, it deepens it. Now, is beating the game 8 times to get the true ending a lot? Yeah, I would say so if the builds weren't interesting, and if the characters didn't play differently, and if the RPG mechanics were shallow, then yeah, this would feel like padding to me. But because those systems exist, replaying the game feels more like experimenting than grinding. And that's the key difference. That's how you modernize a game without destroying the classic formula that made it work in the first place. You keep the simple story, the familiar characters, and the tight combat. And you layer in RPG depth, build variety, replay-driven progression, and scale difficulty. You don't replace the foundation, you expand it. And that's what makes this feel modern without feeling soulless. If you haven't tried TMNT Splintered Fate yet, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the series, and especially if you have some friends to play with. You'll have an awesome time playing this game. And with that, I'm gonna let y'all go. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe to the Questionable Group Chat, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.